Welcome
Welcome
to
to
Shade
Shade
in
in
the
the
City.
City.
I am your girl, Therese.
It's Nels.
And today we are picking up with, I'm sorry, guys, we know we're late. But yes, we are here for the Real Housewives of Atlanta season 15 reunion part 1. And yeah, I'm sure that y'all have heard, seen most of the clips, have your thoughts on what happened, drop them down in the comments. But if you haven't already, as you're coming in, please make sure that you hit that like button.
And that subscribe button.
And let's get into our opinions of what the hell happened at this reunion. And yeah, let's get shady. So we are starting off with Marlo.
First of all, let me just say this because I have to give props where props are due. Okay. These Real Housewives of Atlanta ladies never disappoint. Their outfits, their dresses, every last one of them.
Really?
I like some more than others. But I think that they were all beautiful. I think all their dresses were beautiful.
I will give you that. I will say, I think best dress, even though I can't stand her, Cortney's dress was fucking fire.
Oh yeah, Cortney's dress was fire.
Cortney's dress, I definitely think she got best dress. I think
and to be like, this is your first reunion too?
Yeah.
Okay, Cortney.
Look, maybe Ralph was coaching her. Because I would probably give the next best dress to Drew, in my opinion. I do think Sonya's was cute because it fit what she had going on.
I loved it.
I'm gonna be honest, worst dress for me was probably Monyetta and Marlo. And it was still pretty.
I liked Monyetta's dress. I thought it was different.
You know, she had on a pantsuit.
Huh?
Monyetta had on a pantsuit.
Oh, I only remember seeing the top.
Yeah, no, she had on a pantsuit. So she was, I guess, trying to be different, which I thought was cute. And that's why I think it's cute. But just for, as Cortney, you show up for your first reunion. This is the first time, you know what I mean? You gotta come.
Okay, well, I like the top of Monyetta's pantsuit. I didn't realize that it was pants.
Yeah, it's a pantsuit. Okay. And yeah, for me, I'm not gonna lie, but until they said, I didn't think about it, but then when they said Marlo did look like Miss Roper, I was like, yeah.
I liked it though.
I did like it, but I still thought it was also like, too, Marlo, we follow Marlo on Shade in the City. And if you follow Marlo, she badass, like that whole week she was posting in New York and he's bad. And I was like, which one is she gonna come? What is she gonna come out with for reunion? So to come out in, I'm sorry, what looked like a muumuu, a cute muumuu, a very expensive muumuu.
She said, look, she was like, girl, don't be throwing nothing over near my gown. I thought, oh, okay. And you know what? I did like Kenya's dress also, but I even before they said anything, I was like, the feathers are just doing too much for me. It was doing too much.
It was the underboob for me, but
I thought the underboob was okay. Although
see, I don't have top or underboob, so
her underboob, I thought the underboob was okay. It was just her underboob. You could kind of see like where her like implant kind of like dented in or something like that. So the underboob was really not given that much, but I think on anyone else it would have looked great. And I like Candy's dress. It was so
Candy's dress was nice. Candy's whole look was together. Candy's whole look was together, and Drew's, like Marlo said, from head to toe. Drew, her hair, her everything. Sheree looked good as always, giving body. I think she had on like a little corset
top with like a bottom, yeah.
But
I thought everybody looked nice. I thought like I said, there was more than I like others more, but no, I thought everybody's looks nice.
Look, it was better than that. No shade, it was better than that reunion on own. But anyway. Dressing, the fashions, I mean.
That's why I said it, because we talked about
right. So yeah, so Nels jump right into it. We talk about Marlo. We're talking about how all the ladies copy her from everything from fashion to, just the lifestyle. They want to be Marlo so bad. Sonia comes out revealing to the ladies that she's pregnant again, which was awesome. Congratulations, Sonia.
Don't look so cute in that damn dress.
Right, she did. Because I know a lot of people, I did hear some people that were like, well, her dress and da-da-da, and we didn't like it. And I was like, it was perfect. It was loose enough, but it was perfect because it fell on her belly like it needed to.
Seriously?
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure they're the same people that probably felt like Drew, and it was a publicity stunt or a social media stunt for her to announce her, you know what I mean? I don't know. But I did hear a few people say that. I thought it was fine and perfect for the occasion and what she was trying to do. Because we know she likes to reveal. So now Andy starts off with Candy for showing up. And it's like, oh, thank you. We're so happy to have you. Thank you, Don Juan, for making sure that we were on the schedule. And I was like, okay, Andy, you're really shady. But
Andy is super shady. And I don't think he plays favorites.
I definitely think he plays favorites to Sheree.
To Sheree?
Mm-hmm.
He didn't go in on a Sheree?
He says little things, but the way that he will dig and dig with Candy and Drew, he won't, at a certain point, he'll stop with Sheree. Because you can tell she gets flustered and I don't, and Andy, and so he just doesn't even do that.
Yeah.
But
you gotta want to come back. So.
Right. No, not necessarily.
You're the worst.
They didn't have any better options. That's the only reason Sheree is back.
You're the worst.
Sheree's been fired 3 times.
You know why I thought you would say no, not really?
Why?
Because they're trying to clean out. They're trying to clean house.
Well, that and everybody knows Sheree was brought back as a filler because they had nobody else to fill that spot.
You're horrible.
I'm not trying. How many times has this woman been let go and brought back on this show? And it's no shade. It's just honest. Like, and I love Cynthia, but that's why they're bringing back her as a friend of the show, because they didn't, when Cynthia was there, she didn't really have nothing to give like that. Some people are really, and I'm not saying, I look, y'all know I have a newfound love for my Pisces Cynthia, okay? But I'm gonna tell it like it is. Unless Peter was causing some drama, her sister, or something, or she had drama with Nene, and really it was never really her causing the drama, Cynthia was kind of boring.
And Sheree just don't want to kind of put you on her business.
Right. So, no, I mean, I love them both, but yeah, Bravo was trying to find a nice way to exit them out gracefully. They didn't want to fire him. They were hoping they, or resigned. Candy does take accountability and says that, she basically double booked herself, triple booked herself, quadruple booked herself, because she's booked and very busy. And so she wasn't able to probably give as much time as we could have, or would have liked this season. Sheree finally admits that she had work done on her nose. And Andy compliments.
Oh, no, not finally. She said this is the first time.
Well, I think so this is why I was confused. Somebody said, I think it was Candy that said something about her nose. And then Andy was like, well, don't y'all go to the same person? And I was like, okay. But then did Candy have work done on her face?
I don't think on her face. I think her body.
Okay, because I was like, I don't know. I thought, maybe I'm wrong. I thought that was 2 separate entities, or it's not. I've never had surgery.
I think if you're it's either a plastic surgeon or some doctors, I think, can do both. I think it depends on their credentials.
Well, I would imagine if Candy is going to him, Andrew, they can do it all. So Andy addresses Drew and brings up, how she's like, how are you doing? How are things going? How are things, you still living in the same house with Ralph? And, she's just like, but he says, well, we'll move into that later when it's just you and Ralph. And then moves on to Sonia to congratulate her. We learned that she's 4 months pregnant at this time and it's due on Christmas Day. Again, congrats to Sonia. Yeah, and then you want to jump into I mean, we could talk. Well, then, no, because it's Sheree's segment, pretty much.
Mm-hmm. So then he starts off with Sheree and wants to know about this secret daughter. Sheree says that the girl came around and, he's been saying that it's his daughter, but there's never been any blood tests or anything like that. But as we know, the daughter has been around the kids. And it was like, why didn't your kids tell you? And she was like, probably because they knew I didn't give a shit. She said it was before.
She was like, we are divorced.
She said, we're divorced, and it was before her. But is that when she was coming around while you were divorced? I guess that was my only question. So she said that apparently that was the first time Bob and Martell met. And she said, it was a nice little meet, but it became super awkward because Bob didn't want to leave. He didn't want to go home. She said that everybody was there. Well, not everybody, but her, Martell, and a couple friends are downstairs watching the movie. She thought after everybody left. And Bob just comes out the blue talking about, y'all want something to eat? Like he's serving food in her house. I'm like, man, if you get the hell out of my kitchen.
I mean, Bob, it looks like he's very territorial. Like, you mind, once you mind, you always mind. Because you see how he was rubbing up on Sheree while he was taking the picture. It definitely gives that, like, he would take that old thing back if she would come. But I don't think Sheree's coming, boo. You can sin, but she's not coming.
So he asked Kenya why she felt that Bob and Martell are alike. She said, because from what she saw, of Martell and what she knows about Bob, they're both womanizers and not honest. So it seems like they cut from the same cloth. And he brings up that Candy and Drew accused Sheree of
being a new face. So what happened was Candy went on Speak on it and talks about how Sheree's
new face
and how she looked like
this thing Drew. Says face. This thing says face. I'm like, what? Give a new okay, so give a new face and basically specifically Drew, yes. So Candy said that she was talking about a specific picture and she was referring to her, like, her hair and her makeup. They thought that she went to Drew's makeup artist. And Sheree said that she thought that it was rude and she would have been insulted. They're like, girl, what? Like, why? And she said that was one of her worst pictures. Drew was like, girl. Like the shade.
Right.
So a fan said that they know Sheree loves Martell.
And I think Drew's a beautiful girl, so that kind of was an insult to her because no. What I mean, Sheree was insulting her because I don't think somebody saying you look like Drew is a bad, like, an insult.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, apparently Sheree didn't like that too much.
I guess you would be cute if you keep getting shots in your face. I mean, absolutely.
Not necessarily. So a fan says that they know, Sheree loves Martell's big energy, but how do they feel about him spreading it all over Huntsville? So she said, with her,
have questions.
She said with her, he's always kind and respectful, but she did have to pull back because there was a lot of noise. And she just
is that what it was, Sheree?
She said that it probably was the noise. The noise been around. She just wasn't listening.
The noise of how he was pretty much pursuing his ex-wife while your season was going on, and he was making you look stupid while you were promoting him on your show. That noise? Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's the noise I'm thinking.
That's
about.
The noise, right? Or was it Ariane calling you out and talking about how she was still sleeping with him while he was on your show parading around? I mean, it was a lot of noise going on. It was real noisy.
He's so stupid. So yeah, basically
that's what happened when I had my coffee.
She said that she basically kept on getting pulled into his mess. And he asked her if she heard about the revenge porn.
Oh yes.
Where he was threatening, to release revenge porn on his ex. And Sheree says that she doesn't know how accurate it is. But like she said, there was a lot of noise. So a fan asked Kenya why it took her so long to let Sheree know that he slid in her DMs. And she said, because it really wasn't relevant. She let her know when they was dating. And Sheree said that she felt like she should have told her ahead of time, but
because maybe she could have avoided that man.
But I didn't understand.
There was no way you could have avoided Sheree, because first of all, you knew what it was when you signed up.
No, what I'm confused about is, why would she tell you ahead of time if she didn't know that you were dating this man? She's just going to randomly tell you everybody who DMs her? that didn't make any sense to me. So what she's saying is, now that I knew that you were dating this dude, yes, now I thought it was relevant to let you know that he DM'd me. Otherwise, I'm gonna just have to go through all my DMs and let you know every dude that's in my DMs.
Well, that's a great point.
So basically, he also asked Sheree, why.
I think Marlo even said, well, you couldn't have found the time and place or something like that. I'm like, Marlo, you are the last person. The nerve.
So he asked Sheree about how, she's always talking about how Kenya don't have a man. And Sheree said, because she's always talking about how, she has to give that same energy because she doesn't have a man with her. So she's like, well, bring a man next time. Kenya said that she doesn't want that. She doesn't want a man who speaks to women like that or speaks to their wife that way. What's that got to do with what the hell she said? She said,
I was thinking that same thing. I was like, what is going on? I'm gonna be honest with you. Kenya was not on it this reunion. I don't know if this is her way of exiting, because I heard little birdies in the street saying that they were keeping, I believe it was Candy and Kenya for sure for next season. I forgot who the third person was. But Kenya did not give this. It was, I think this is the first reunion. Maybe she's tired of being, the sassy one. I don't know. But she did not give this reunion at all. Like, her reads were bad. She just was not on it. Sorry, Kenya.
So Sheree basically, she was like, okay, but you want a man that's, around town with all different women. Paula, where is this accusation coming from? So Kenya said, no, she doesn't want that. She's dating. And Sheree said, well, so am I.
Right.
Basically, and Kenya was like, well, stop weaponizing me. Basically, and using that against me, and like, we're in the same boat. What's the difference? And Sheree's like, basically, that's what I'm trying to explain to you. There is no difference.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same thing. So they asked Kenya, girl, tell me you are finally divorced. She said no. He filed contempt charges against her, saying that,
Andy knew she won't damn divorce. I mean, he has to ask it, but
of course. Basically, he was saying that she was keeping Brooklyn away from him, and the incident with Marlo,
which I do believe I said in one of our reviews. Y'all can go back.
So Marlo says, she felt horrible and she apologized for Brooklyn being in the middle of their BS. Kenya was like, what did she just say? She was like, I don't even understand what she's saying. It's like, what? So, she said that she apologizes or whatever. She was like, no.
Kenya felt like she could have picked up the phone if she was really sorry.
She said, basically, she was like, that should have came over the phone. She was like, that everybody read it in the blogs. And she was like, here's your subpoena for you to show up in court. Andy grabs it and looks at it. He's like, girl, this thing is blank. She was like, oh, the wrong person must have printed it. Basically, Kenya says that she'll have to print another one. And while, they're on the subject, she wants to know why she was texting Mark 2 years ago. She said in her divorce case, she was able to find her number in the phone records during discovery. And Kenya says that, she couldn't see the messages, but Mark told her that Marlo reached out to her trying to get dirt on her. Marlo says no, she don't remember sending no text or doing none of that. And basically, Kenya says, why is there a roadblock? She was like, this is why there's always a roadblock between us, because she's always discovering that she's always doing some dirty shit.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, Marlo is like, she's oblivious to everything that's going on. She has no idea what the hell she's talking about.
Well, Andy brings up the birthday dinner and how Martell didn't pay. Now, Sheree said that he was a guest as well. So, why would he be paying for the whole dinner? And then Andy was like, so you paid. And she was like, no, why would I pay for my own dinner? So Andy brings up Sheree's very strange and, difficult relationship with bills. And I loved it. Now that was shady.
Yeah, he said you have an interesting relationship with bills.
Sheree said, you know what? I ain't never been sued. Ain't nobody ever said that I stole an idea from
Did
him.
you see Drew's face when she said that?
Mm-hmm.
So
So Candy then brings up how Sheree still hasn't paid a guy from the fashion show that just came out the other day and did the interview talking about how that's why y'all don't see half the stuff that's on the runway, that was on the runway on the site, because Sheree still ain't paid for it. And he highly discounted her, allegedly, according to him. Y'all can definitely go check that interview out. I forgot his name, but it was from the clips that I seen, I got enough information to know that Sheree, of course, to pull off this fashion show, made some promises, did some things, and because people were like, oh, it's Sheree, no, we got, you know what I mean? It's gonna be such a, they let it ride, and then of course they didn't get paid. Allegedly. Sheree brings out a note from Ruan, who apparently the designer was working with, just so y'all know. And Ruan says that, or validates whatever Sheree is saying, that she paid her bills. She then tells Candy to worry about the greasy ass floors down at her restaurant. And, basically Candy talks about the shot Sheree has in her face. Candy kind of stumbles up. And, Sheree is bothered and tells Candy she could never.
She stood up and twirled. She stood up and twirled on it and said, okay, you could never. Girl, she could if she paid for the same shit you did.
I was gonna say y'all had the same doctor. She absolutely could.
Right. Candy just go for different shit, but she definitely could.
Both you and Candy can be looking like Drew.
Exactly.
Because y'all all go the same damn place. Now, Sheree tells Candy to focus on her business, and of course, Candy lets her know, I'm always focused on my business.
Right.
You over here talking to Miss EGOT. Okay, very close. Very close. I don't even think you got a E, a G, O, or a T, Sheree. So have several seats. Have you won any awards? Just saying. Now, besides, what was it? What was the award? I think, who was it? Kenya gave her. Who was it that said something about she needs to have her own show? Sheree dating terrible men or something like that.
It was Kenya.
Yeah, that was funny. I'm sorry. But then Kenya.
Dating dumb dudes.
Yeah, dating dumb dudes. But at the same time, she can't say nothing either.
Got a point there.
Right. So, basically, then Sheree takes the time to let her know to focus on the shootings. I thought that was low because Candy has no control over what happens outside. So
I thought it was dumb.
Then pulls out a pamphlet. Or that's what Drew called it. It was cute. She was like, is that a pamphlet? And it has stories about Candy and her business. And, and Candy's like, you did all of this. I wish you would print some fashions. I said, Candy, that is what we were waiting for. Okay. And so Candy is still going in about Sheree and her Shein fashions. Then, the first 6 pages are Sheree bringing up negative reviews about Candy's businesses. And then the other 2 are about this clothing store that she's owned for over 14 years. And so Andy brings up a point where Sheree says Candy is selling other people's clothes in her store. And Candy admits that she is, but she never said she was a designer.
Yeah, it was something, I think she was saying like that the original price is $9.99 and she's charging $75 for it.
Oh.
She was like, it ain't mine. The hell?
Well, you know what was crazy? I caught, I think I sent it to you. I believe Jay Lee posted audition tape from Sheree for Real Housewives. She first got on, and she was like, I'm a designer. And you've been lying this whole time.
Maybe back then she was, but maybe she felt like she wasn't getting nowhere with her designs. So she had to hit up
Shein. Okay, so then Andy asked if they got their items they ordered in Portugal, which Sonia says she did, and Candy admits that she did get her stuff as well. So Andy asked Sheree if she's made a profit yet. And she's like, well, Andy. Like, she was talking to him like, silly rabbit, Andy. No. And she says it takes 2 to 3 years, which I'm sure I can somewhat believe, but Candy was kind of giving her the, okay, girl. So, she then says, she's trying to change the subject at this point. So she pulls out a bag for Drew because we all know last season Drew said that she didn't get the bag that they had. They took it back from her. And she's like, let Candy open the bag. Let Candy. And I thought this was actually really corny. It could have been done better, but I get it. Somebody, I will say, she went to somebody's reading 101 before she came here. And so she
didn't Candy ask her, or somebody, she was like, somebody been giving you tips, girl. Like,
right. So I do believe she went to Real Housewives reads. You know what she did? She hooked up just for Potomac. That's what she did. She went and saw one of them. She went and got a good Giselle. She knows when to just sit there. Well, no, I can't even say Giselle because Giselle takes it sometimes and then tries to play Karen. I'd say she's more Ashley because Ashley don't care what you say about her. She always got some to say back to you.
You know who I think is good with their reads? Candace.
Oh, Candace, yes.
She ain't on Candace level yet.
And no, and I don't think they're friends because I know Candace is friends with Drew. But yeah, no, so
she pulled out a film clapboard.
Thank you. I was wondering what that thing was. It was a proper name for it. But and then of course it says and scene, and I was like, oh yay, that's cute.
Look, she might have took some pointers from Drew with the props.
That is very true.
Andy asked Drew how it was filming for Candy. And she said initially, she thought 10 days was super aggressive, but it was top tier. Marlo
trailer, yeah, fruit trays.
Marlo's over there whispering, what Sheree talking about, was the pay top tier. Talking about, I heard she only got paid $10,000. So, of course she had to ask. So you only paid her $10,000? She's like, girl, I paid her way more than $10,000. Well, she
and you know what I can appreciate? I appreciated that Drew didn't speak on it. She didn't even address it. Like she didn't, you know what I'm saying?
It could have also been because of who it came from.
That's true.
she's so done with Marlo.
Right, that's true. She really can't stand Marlo.
So he asked Candy how she felt about Drew basically saying after doing that, she ain't doing nothing lower than Lifetime. Candy said she felt like, well, good luck. And, she said, listen, she said when the offer came in, her agent passed it over. And, then Todd called her and they had a conversation. She decided to do it because it was for a bigger purpose. And, he was just starting out. She said that she feels that it's underappreciated because she's an actress. She's a real deal actress. And she has the minimum ask through her union. So, okay. All right, Drew. Let people know. And then he brings up Kenya's tweet about how she was disappointed, when she was talking about her acting career. And, she questioned, basically in the tweet, I guess she said that she never questioned her acting or her singing career when she fell off. Hey, what the hell?
Right.
And then says, but Kenya called her music video a low budget Beyonce and wants to know what the difference is. And you know what? One thing I can appreciate about Kenya, whether it's BS or not, she comes back with good answers most of the time.
Right.
So she said, well, no, it was fun shade. And really, it was a shot at production. She thought she was going to be able to get away with that. She said, because I really believe that Drew was talented. Drew said that she was wearing the creative hat. So really, you still taking shots at Drew.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so she says, she didn't feel that way at all. She said that she apologized and it was supposed to be fun shade. So then he asked.
And I appreciate Kenya. That was a legit, sincere apology. I really, truly believe that. And I can appreciate that they've gotten to that. Because Kenya used to not give a damn whether Drew liked her or not. Like Kenya, I feel like if this were last year, Kenya would have been like, yeah, I said it. And moved on and wouldn't have gave a damn. So I can appreciate that she was like, actually, like, I really don't want her to be upset with me. Shout out to Kenya for growth, but I still need you to come with something.
So he asked Candy if it upset her that Drew said that she made up the kissing story to promote her movie. She said, of course it did.
Because you're calling me a liar.
Called her a liar multiple times. So Drew said, if that's the case, then why in 2021 did she say, I may have misread the situation? And Candy said that she was joking. She said she could have sworn that she seen it. Drew's up there, well, you could have sworn. Girl, please. So she said that
Girl, we synced you.
we synced you. She said she was trying to be a friend because, she's married and she didn't know what was going on with that situation. And she said, but she definitely saw her. And she said the movie wasn't even existing then. So why the hell would she be trying to tell people that was going on to promote a movie that didn't even exist?
That, you know what? That's one thing I love about Candy. She gonna make that shit make sense.
Mm-hmm. And Drew said those are candy-coated lies. Candy said she has no reason to make anybody say, I guess she was talking about Toya, to make
Right.
Toya say that, she kissed her and basically called her lying ass hoe. Drew said a lot of people told her to just go along with it. And there's a lot of people that are afraid of Queen Candy Burris because she has 10 million followers.
You know what I love? When this called her, what was it? It went for my brain real fast. I'll think of it. She said something to Drew and I was dying. I'm sorry, go ahead.
So Drew brings up at the after show, Candy didn't really believe the thing.
Oh no, when she's like, "Are we good? Are we good, Candy?" And Andy's like, "No, Drew, y'all not good.
Like literally
not
she's
good
on your husband's side now. Like, what
right.
Like everybody looked at her like, girl.
Are we good?"
So Drew brings up
That's
at the
how they
after
know
show,
she's delusional. Like
Candy didn't really believe the things that Drew said. For instance, that her sister had a mental illness. And she was like, why do you think that? Candy said, because you've lied in the past. And everybody
starts chiming in. How?
yeah, girl, you do lie. So Candy
Drew,
said,
I love you, but you's a liar.
So Candy said it took her sister coming out to speak on it for her to believe that it was true. And she's like, yeah, but okay. But she couldn't believe it coming out of Drew's mouth. So Candy said, all this time, we've been saying that Ralph is gaslighting you, but you just sat here in this damn chair and lied. I know for damn sure you gaslight him. Mm-hmm. So Drew just keeps on asking, where's the lie? Where's the lie? Candy's like, girl, you're a liar. There's no truth in you. Said, Jesus. Sonia even chimed in and was like, girl, you lied on me. Andy's like, no, she's not good with you. She literally switched up on you. She's on Ralph's side right now.
Right.
So Kenya was like, girl, we were rooting for you. Drew still wanted to know where was the lie. And they showed her a receipt of her lying before, saying that she has kissed a girl. And then in another clip, she says that she has never kissed
Look, Marlo said, come on over here, girl, because it just, they don't see it for you over there. Come over to this side.
Yeah. Andy decided to change the subject and asked how her song was doing. And she says that, her video is doing really well. It hit 100K. And she just got placed on BET. So she's super excited. A fan asked Marlo if she's sorry about how she treated Drew. And basically, she needs to learn how to control her emotions because and not bash women about their bodies, because not everyone
can get it sucked out.
Yeah, can pay to get fixed like she did. And Marlo was like, first of all, everybody on this couch and had something done, whether it was to their body or their face. So she don't know why they feel like that's a read at her. And all she's gotten was lipo. So Drew said that she's so insulting. She was like, girl, you are out of touch. You are touchless. No penetration. Like, what? So Marlo said, yeah, we know you like to touch a lot. You like to kiss girls and then deny it. So Andy asked Drew if she's feeling any better. And if she'll, want to discuss her divorce later. She said, we'll see, because, I have my kids to think about, and I am technically still married, and I believe in the sanctity of marriage. So Sonia says that she thinks that they can make amends. And Drew said, right now they're still going through the process, but everybody has faith that they'll fix it. Why?
Why? Like, why are we? Look,
I guess,
that's how you know that's not your friends.
I guess.
That's
I,
not your friends.
I
If
think
your friend should have told you, they've been while you was with them, they talked about them and didn't know why you was with them, and now that y'all not together, they all sitting around hoping y'all work it out.
that's what I'm saying. I'm wondering if they just feel like that's just the right thing to
Thing to
say.
say.
Marlo said that she told him the same. I'm sorry, that he told her the same thing when he reached out to her.
Right.
And
Why?
the look on Drew's face, boy, it looks kill.
Mm-hmm.
Like, mm.
So then Andy brings out Monietta and Cortney. Cortney says that her dad's sister is married to Ralph's cousin or something like that. So
His
they're basically,
uncle.
I wouldn't.
He said that's a hell of a weak connection.
Right. He asked if she's come as cousin Cortney or cousin-in-law, and Drew says she's a fake cousin, and Cortney basically calls her fake. And I'm gonna be real with y'all, they was really getting on my nerves. This is when I started to tune out of the episode. So Andy moves on to Marlo and asks her how Scott Lee is doing. She said he hasn't met the boys and she ain't met his kids, but she has done the do with Scott Lee. She has tapped that thing. And Michael is driving now. And Cortney is still helping her get her record expunged along with Phaedra, which of course gets an eye roll from Candy. A viewer brings up Kenya feeling away about Roy sliding in Marlo's DM. She says he was just commenting on a live, and she says comments on a live go into your DMs. That's not true, Kenya. And even Sonya.
Right, like, hold up, that's
That's
right.
not true. And Sonya has to let her know that that's not true. So Kenya says Marlo knew that wasn't a date because her dates end with money being on the dresser. Now that one was good, Kenya. I'll give you that. One of the viewers brings up how Roy is never around, and Kenya tries to say it's because what he heard Marlo said about him and the teasers and the trailers or whatever.
Cherry or something like that. It was, I don't know.
I don't know, but it was something in a trailer or whatever. And I don't think I seen that, but whatever. And so I love when Andy calls her out on it. It's like, but we had wrapped filming by the time that aired. So, and then Marlo,
she was like, well, somebody told him, he heard it somewhere.
And then I love how Marlo was like, because I'm not gonna lie, this is how I was starting to feel, because every time he came around with his shit. He was advertising his brand. He was definitely using this as brand advertising. You saw the food more than you saw him. But I'm just saying. So yeah, and Kenya's just sitting there unstuck because she can't even dispute any of that they said, because it's all true. Then Andy brings up the collusion and the alliances of the group. Cortney says that, when she was calling, or when she called Drew the B word, that she was imitating. Well, I think she said she was imitating what LaToya said, and that didn't make sense.
I guess she was trying to say that LaToya was saying, like, and this lied on me or something like that, or whatever. She said that.
Oh, okay. I don't know, because I was like, when did you talk to LaToya? So I just thought it was weird. But who knows? Because Cortney is definitely the ops at this point. She is not to be trusted. I mean, you might be cute, girl, but I would not want to be your
I always thought she was never to be trusted. You just came out of nowhere and you my husband's cousin.
Right. And then to sit here and say you've been more supportive to him than I've ever been to him in our marriage. But that sounded
like kissing cousins.
Yeah, kissing cousins. That's where I was headed. So yeah, so Sonya and Candy discuss her laughing when other people we're talking about Candy and how she just really didn't know where Sonya's basically loyalty lied. And basically Sonya was just like, it is what it is. And she was like, and she brings up a time where I guess somebody said something about her, and Candy was like, well, I thought that was kind of funny. Oh, the last reunion when Drew was flipping her hair in her face, and Candy admitted that she laughed at it and thought it was kind of funny. And Sonya was hurt by that. And I was like, but Candy was honest with you. She didn't do that shit behind your back. That's the difference. I can much rather take you laughing in my face than doing it behind my back and then me finding out about it. So I'm kind of with Candy. Candy was right on that one, at least in my opinion. And then Monyetta and Sheree go at it about Monyetta calling her a hyena. Y'all, as it got towards the end, it got real stupid. Like real stupid. And I don't mean in like stupid, like good, crazy, like drinks being thrown. I mean stupid, like I'm tuned out. I have 2 more sentences and hopefully Neil can carry us if there's any more. Because I blanked out at this point. And Monyetta, so Monyetta apologizes to Sheree, or Sheree feels like she deserves an apology. Monyetta's mad because I guess Sheree was cackling about Marlo closing the door on her or shutting the door on her. And that's what I'm saying. It got real.
And she was like that Sheree, but Sheree, I think what upset her was that Sheree told her that she didn't see it.
Well, she said she was behind her, so I could kind of believe that. But at the end of the day, y'all, I checked out mentally. At that point, it was Cortney and Drew going back and forth, and Drew reading her down and basically telling her that she is a fake cousin, and basically not to speak on her child, because Cortney basically is like, oh yeah, so Ralph. Well, she didn't say Ralph, but we all know she got this information from Ralph, especially if you've had your ear to the streets this past week, because he can't keep his mouth shut for nothing. But yeah, apparently Ralph just thinks that Drew tried to get him to adopt that little boy, basically so she could get his money. And I don't know. I just think it's very piss poor. You've been taken care of for this long. Y'all have been married. And I think he's been in JoJo's life since he was like 3 or something. And the boy's like 8 or 9 now. I just feel like, but I'm sure some people, and y'all can drop down in the comments, I'm sure some people feel as if he does have a father who, as Ralph says, wants to be in his life, and Drew is actually keeping him from being. But from what we saw on the show, it looked like JoJo wasn't comfortable with his dad. It wasn't a thing if she wasn't trying to push the relationship. JoJo looked like he really wasn't interested.
Yeah.
Maybe that's just what we saw. I mean, granted, I don't know. But yeah, and so basically Drew lets her know, don't ever speak on my son again or act like you know anything about what goes on in my household when you still around here hunching on your baby daddy. And you got a whole, I think she say her daughter was damn near 30 or 20s, or she's either in her like late 20s or 30s.
40?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I felt like she said her daughter was, because somebody was like, oh, how old is the baby? She was like, oh, she might have said 21. She either said 21 or 31. Or maybe 24. I don't know. But that girl is older. So the fact that you still mess around talking about you co-parenting, baby, just stop. Stop. The baby's over 18. Stop it. And yeah, that's all I have. Any more else?
Nope.
All right, y'all. Well, thank you so much for tuning in to another review of Real Housewives of Atlanta. As you know, we are getting to the end of the season, so we appreciate you guys. Please, please, please go binge watch, go through all of the reviews, catch up if you have not, drop down in the comments. But if you haven't already, make sure you hit that like button.
You comment.
You subscribe.
And you hit the notification bell.
And make sure that you're following us on all the platforms, the TikTok, the Twitter, the Facebook, and the IG. And if you guys are into stars, catch us tonight as we go live to do our review of Force. I feel like we used to call it Tommy Force, but anyway, do our review of Force, episode 2. So yeah, we will see you at 10 o'clock if you would like to join us. But until then, we will catch you next week for part 2 of the reunion. Have a great weekend.